Oh, I got some imagination. Don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm. All
What's
right.
up,
Just think.
everyone? Welcome to episode number 55 of 1868 Weekly. I'm your host, John Macaluso, interrupting Brad Polonsky. Why am I interrupting Brad at the beginning of the show, you may ask? Well, because I want to know and I want to understand what he's saying, and I think Matt does too. But first, let me introduce, since I kind of already introduced Brad there. Well, I can ask, how are you doing today, Brad?
Well, I feel insulted that I was interrupted, and that's
Mm-hmm.
about all you're gonna get from me.
All right, Matt, how are you doing today? Matt Rafferty, everybody. Look at his beautiful background. I don't know if I like your background more or your beautiful, wonderful beard.
Oh, I know. It's
I
coming in
can't
so
decide. Yeah,
nice.
it really is. How are you doing, Matt?
Uh, I'm doing good, man. Comfy. I got a new desk chair. It took a little
Ooh.
bit to get the chroma key filter to not take the green out that's reflecting off the back, as
Mm-hmm.
you can see, but it's working out pretty well.
Good. I like how you totally look photoshopped into your background. It's amazing.
I sure do.
All right. So anyway, we were talking, Brad, and we'd all like for you to clarify this. I think, Matt, would you like clarification?
Yeah, I can give you some
Yeah, use
clarification.
some clarification. All right. So
Yeah.
we had a new signing, and since we're putting you on the spot, Brad, I'll at least give you a chance to announce the new signing on 1868 Weekly. But after that, you need to follow up as to what the heck you find so funny.
All right. So the new signing is Tucker Bone. He is from Colorado Springs Switchbacks. I don't have the information fully out in front of me, but he is a new guy, Colorado Switchbacks. He was a draft pick last year for this year from Seattle, from Air Force Academy. 16 appearances, one goal, one assist on the season last year, and his name is a euphemism. Euphemism, English hard.
Sure, and we're all wondering why or how so. Because, I mean, I don't. Matt, can you think of anything as you drink that alcoholic beverage?
I don't know. Tucker is it's an uncommon name, I guess, but other than that, I'm not feeling it. I don't really know what he's getting at.
The best I can come up with is the guy breaks bones. He breaks ankles.
Well,
See?
immediately after the signing, we started talking about how we need to do from Spider-Man, bone saw, bone saw.
Yes,
It's
the
got to happen.
wrestling scene. That's excellent. But
Bone saw is
yeah,
ready.
so clearly, Brad, Matt, and I aren't getting it. So you're gonna have to explain further what you mean.
You know, then you guys don't have a childish imagination, and that is on you. And bone. Ha 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 ha. Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
It's because we have full beards, Brad.
That
Same.
helps.
Did you just
Are you
say
sure? Are we
same?
streaming?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
totally
we are.
streaming.
Oh, it's not coming
Yeah,
up.
I
That's
got
weird.
the email and everything.
Oh no, it's coming up. I posted it. But
Hmm.
you are like zoomed in on all of our faces, John. Like
Oh, am I?
my
Oh,
face
you
is
know what?
big
That's
and
because
zoomed
I
in, and
completely like chaos and anarchy in today's show. I didn't even think about resizing everything. So you
you
guys are
didn't
gonna
even
see
let
some
me get
funny
my
stuff going on.
beer.
No,
Oh yeah,
it
I
was
am huge.
immediately make fun of Brad because he's a
Yeah,
childish
I need a
child.
beer for this,
You
and I
can
don't have a
you can
beer.
go grab a beer real quick, Brad. All
We'll
right, there
allow
we
it.
go. Are we happy, Matt? You look good again. I mean,
Yeah.
you look fine just before, but look at that
Oh,
beard. It's
thanks.
been a while since you've had your beard that long. I feel like because every
Yeah,
time you
it's
start growing it out, you have to shave it again.
been pretty favorable. I feel like I got a good start on it, and holidays kind of broke things up a little bit. So
Yeah.
looking pretty good.
All right, let's talk about your background, and
Okay.
and we'll give Brad a guess when he gets back. I want to. I'm guessing Rancho San Rafael Park.
And you would be correct.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, it's at the
Yes.
little disc golf area in between the ball field and the actual like regional park
Awesome.
area.
The reason I knew that is just because I actually at the corner, like right behind your right ear, there's more of the city. So I
Yep.
kind of just that's how I wouldn't have gotten this if it weren't for that probably.
And I just noticed you can barely see a peak of McCarran, like just
Yo,
off
yeah.
just
I
off to
didn't
the
get a
side.
beer.
All right, where is he, Brad?
I was gonna say Minden,
Nope.
or Carson City, but
No, those mountains are too short.
Mm. So where is he?
Well, he's in Reno since he just said McCarran.
Oh. Oh well.
Man, just nothing
All right.
from you.
I'm taking this one as a win, though.
All right.
That was perfect.
That was spot on, dude.
No, it's another really good shot. What were you doing out there? Just hanging out?
Yeah.
Cool.
It is real close to home, and I have a lot of times I have some time to myself when Angela's at work at night, and yeah, I like that area.
Cool. Yeah, it's a nice picture. I like that park. It's been a little while since I've been over there, but I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so on the docket today, we're going to pretty much kind of do what we did last week, which is talk about our signings, and then anarchy and chaos. So it's going to be another short episode. It's just how off-season shows are going to be, guys. I'm down with it. These two are down with it. And I'm sure you guys are, too. Sometimes watching an hour of our shenanigans can get a little bit tiring, especially my shenanigans. So, all right. So we had this first signing who, Brad, you covered it pretty well. I do have a little bit more information because I get these sweet press releases from the team.
Well, are we fancy?
Yeah, and like the only other thing I really wanted to add was that he was drafted 20th overall by the Sounders in the 2019 MLS Super Draft. There was one more thing I want to mention: the fact that you said he appeared in 16 games with the Switchbacks. He started half of those, so he started 8 of those. And before, you may have touched on this, Brad. I'm going to repeat it just because I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Switchbacks, he spent 4 years at Air Force Academy. And there he was named Western Athletic Conference WAC Player of the Year once, and then United Soccer Coaches First Team All-American twice. So some pretty solid accolades there for Mr. Bone coming in. There was one more note I wanted to. Will you be an adult, Brad? Can we do this? Can I say Bone without you going to your? Never mind. All right. So this is a quote from Ian. Tucker Bone's a player we followed for a while. He was a player that we wanted to draft last year, but he was picked before we got to him. Second part of the quote, he's very mobile and versatile. He's a player that covers a lot of ground. What I think stands out is he's very good going forward. He will create a lot of chances for us. He scored a lot of goals and earned a lot of assists in college. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I'm excited to see him. I think it's interesting the fact that we added a third midfielder, and we'll talk about the second midfielder we added a little bit later last week, I think. Yeah, I think it was like Thursday, like right after we did the last episode.
What was the 6th? Friday.
Okay.
That's when it was.
All right. Well, I was close. So we will. Let's go ahead and talk about that. I think it's interesting that we have 3 midfielders now. I think that's where we should leave that off. Matt, do you want to talk a little bit about the other gentleman that we signed?
Yeah. So adding to the midfield, seems like Ian's trying to build out of the middle and wants to kind of see what he can do there first, because it looks like he's making some smart moves as far as USL talent goes. Because who he has picked up is Mohamed Dabo. He is a long time. He's been with the Riverhounds for a few years, out of Pittsburgh, and in the last 2 years, he's appeared in 48 matches and started 35 of them. He's been an important piece for them. I know you guys don't follow the East Coast too much, the Eastern Conference, and I guess I'm not really eyeballing a whole lot of players, but this guy does seem like he's pretty quality. He seems like he's a very physical midfielder. He might end up being more of a kind of a 6. He's hanging back a little bit, kind of a central defensive midfielder, quite possibly, which is good. That'll be a good position that we'll definitely need, because I don't see Seth's name back up on the roster yet, and he would be kind of a player that would fill in pretty well there if the worst would happen and he doesn't come back for a 4th season. I don't know. I'm digging this guy. He was with the Inter Milan youth system for a couple years. He played for the U17 national team for Senegal. And this guy seems like he's got talent, and he's one of those top of the USL, maybe fringe MLS player that not only San Jose has been eyeballing, but Ian wants to fit into his system that he can not only develop but get some wins out of him.
Yeah, very nice. You covered most of what I have before me in the press release regarding him.
Sorry.
No, that's perfect because the less I talk, the better for everybody. But what I have is a quote from Ian, which I'll go ahead and read. Dabo's a player that covers a lot of ground in the midfield. He can play multiple spots with his athleticism and quickness, and he's very technically skilled. He possesses a lot of ability in the middle of the midfield. He's not only an excellent ball winner with pace and quickness, but he is also very technical on the ball. One more little part here at the bottom. He has played all three central positions from the 6 and 8 to the 10. We're looking forward to adding him to our squad. So that's Coach Ian's quick statement on that signing. What do you think, Brad? What are your thoughts on him?
I like both signings. I'm going to start with Dabo just because I think he's a player that gets immediate action on the team, that he can play probably most of the appearances that he's given this year. As for Tucker Bone, I think that he's going to come in and compete for, some starting spots and some action, maybe as a substitute. But I don't see him as a player that immediately plays or starts on the team. I think he's a solid depth addition. Both players, though, I like. I remember watching Tucker last season. I think when we blew out Colorado late in the season, but just enjoy having both players on the team now.
Matt, what does this mean for potential midfielders to return? We're still waiting on a few big names to come across our way, right? But we're signing other guys. What does that mean?
I don't know if Ian is trying to hedge his bets here. I know that the front office is still working with a lot of players. At the little supporter event they had last week, early last week, Eric Edelstein, actually, the president, had mentioned that they're talking to a lot of people, and there's still a lot of deals to be made. It's just a matter of finalizing it. They can't really say anything until there's actually ink on paper, and this does worry me that we're not going to see some of our usual guys. Partita and Seth Kasipli come to mind immediately, but there's no indication that they're not coming back. It's just a matter of when, hopefully. But these signings to fill in gaps do look pretty good. And especially what you were saying, Brad, with Tucker Bone, is that he is from the Western Conference. He knows the Western Conference, so that definitely helps out.
All right, so let me just recap who we have on the 2019 or rather 2020 squad so far. We've got 3 defenders so far: Brent Richards, Thomas Janjigian, and Yosimar Hernandez. Then we've got 3 midfielders: Sam Gleadle and the 2 gentlemen we talked about, Mohamed Dabo and Tucker Bone. And then, of course, our forward, Corey Herzog. So I'd say that, so far, we may not have some returners yet that we'd like to hear from, but I think so far we're looking pretty solid.
It's a skeleton so far, but honestly, I don't think it's a bad backbone to start with so far. I'm looking forward to some more signings, such as, hopefully a Seth Kasipli coming back, hopefully someone like a Duke Lacroix coming back and really complete that back line, because I really like where our back line is right now. But right now, honestly, I think it's a very good very good spine to start with the team. We have our returning goal scorer from last season in Corey Herzog coming back. We have a couple of really popular players with the team, with Jiggy, with Gleadle, with Richards. We have some pretty quality new signings with Dabo, and I think Tucker Bone's going to play a standout role at least in some point of the season. And then we have Yosimar Hernandez, which is a person that I think all 3 of us were asking to see a little bit more out of, because we want to see what he can do next year.
Yeah. I would agree with all of that. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a start. and I think it actually might be a better start than last year.
Mm.
Around this time, leading up to Christmas, I think a lot of people will be like, are we going to have a team put together by the start of preseason? And there was quite a few signings in the last week before the preseason, and a couple during preseason. So it looks like they might be off to a better start than we've seen in previous years, which we're talking more cohesion, more time for these players to get in the shape that Ian wants them to be coming into midseason, and maybe get into the city a little bit and acclimate. This is these are all good things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're off to a good start.
Yeah, I agree. I love that, Brad, you brought up Duke Lacroix and Seth Gasippli. Definitely guys we want to see back. But as far as, worst case scenario, that doesn't happen. I think that we're going in the right direction. Either way. Of course, let us all pray and sacrifice our goats in hopes that we get Duke and Seth back. Because I really love both of those guys. That's all we got as far as new signings are concerned. If things continue the way they have the last month or so, we'll probably have more signings to talk about next episode. So, or hopefully somebody returning or anything. So, all right, guys, what's going on in your lives? What's up? What's going on in the soccer world?
Well, I guess still hanging out. Did we talk about Mr. Ockford in the last episode? Did that happen in time?
No.
Okay. So a former 1868 player that I'm sure everyone listening is familiar with, Mr. Jimmy Ockford, a once captain of this great team, has moved on from Nashville and is being signed by Lou City for the 2020 season. And I feel like that's a step up. Nashville has seemed like they don't know what they're doing in a lot of departments lately. So, if he made his way onto a top caliber USL side, and I'm sure he's happy with it. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, definitely great player, great guy. We miss him here in Reno for sure. Brad, what do you got for us today?
Well, another former 1868 player is moving on internationally. Let me try that again. This time in Ireland. Our good man Will Seymour is signed with Sligo Rovers. I hope I did not mispronounce that. Someone
if
who
you did,
has,
Roy will.
yeah.
Let you know. Yeah.
Someone with more international knowledge will let me know. But he is now signed in with Sligo Rovers. It is a team out of Ireland and Northern Ireland, not the country, but geographically, and is a player that I know that we miss over here, but he'll be missed, and I think he'll be a good fit over there in Ireland.
Definitely, that was actually exactly what I wanted to bring up. My only. No, you're fine. That was my only soccer related shenanigans news that I was going to bring in today's episode.
Oh wow!
So yeah, we'll see more. The dude moves on to a brighter future. Hopefully, we're all rooting for him.
Absolutely.
Since I stole what you wanted to say, here's a graphic that I also had.
Oh, now you stole from me.
Oh, no, I'm stealing from you both. I'm sorry. I'll let you comment on what you think of this, Matt.
Okay. No. I think it is an unnecessary rebrand. Yeah, the other one was a little iffy. We had a kind of like a dark blue with dark red on the inside. There wasn't a whole lot of contrast. You couldn't distinguish a whole lot. And not only that, but the black space in what you see here on the new one was actually a transparency in the old one. And I noticed that after making memes and whatnot, that it made it kind of awkward. So it seems like they filled it in, but they made the red parts a very, very dark gray that makes it almost impossible to see what it is. It's got the 5 stripes and a little FC and 1871, which I would assume is the founding year of Colorado Springs. But unless you're squinting at it, you can't see it at all.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, I could even look at a sharp, high definition image of it, and it's washed out.
You know when you guys start a new video game and they tell you to adjust your brightness so that you could barely see an image?
Oh my god.
That's exactly what that is.
100% what that is.
Yep, definitely.
I don't hate it. I think you can't. It's hard to improve on bad sometimes if you're gonna stick with bad. What bothers me is I hate this little like blank spot here and here, but and I guess it's supposed to create like an S, but like,
Yep.
hold on, where's the other tab that I had? But like when you compare it to the new one, I give a slight edge to the new one. I just like the simplification of the colors. I like the blue. I like the black. Yeah, it's hard to see. You got to squint at it, but they're making a new stadium. I guess they want to make a change with it. I don't disapprove of it, but I don't really. It's hard to improve on garbage already.
I just feel like it's unnecessary. Even looking at this, their explanation image that every team has to release that points out aspects of a crest. You can see it a little better. I mean, just tiny bit better, but really not that great. They kept the 5 stripes. They kept the peak, the whole Pikes Peak thing, even though it's less noticeable. Less noticeable now than it was on the old one. But the S does stick out more. I don't know how to feel about it. Maybe I'll wait to see their new kits and see how the crest looks on there.
It's definitely. I think it's a little blocky. Like it's kind of just a big shape and then a bunch of stuff in it. Don't really see that S on the inside. I mean, yeah, I don't like it and I don't hate it. It just exists.
Yep, it's blah.
Yeah, so.
But what's going on that is not blah in Colorado Springs is that they broke ground on their new stadium. Their 8,000 capacity downtown home, as Jake Edwards put in his tweet. And everybody is kind of thinking the same thing. I'm jealous of Colorado Springs.
No doubt. That thing.
Yeah, a lot of the people are tilting their heads at that. But that is beautiful.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Championship Soccer Park in Orange County, but better.
Yes.
Much better. Not in the middle of nowhere. It's covered on all sides. It looks like an intimate fan experience. It's not overwhelming for the fans that they have been drawing out, but it's not underwhelming in the fact that it's not a garbage soccer stadium that Los Dos plays at. It's just a good stadium that I think will serve the purpose of a USL team in the future.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I dig it. I think I can't tell if that's a hotel or condos behind there, but if they're condos, I mean, that must be an interesting tenant to have next to you.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you watch every game from your porch.
That's true. That would be
awesome.
pretty sweet if you're a soccer fan.
Mm-hmm. I dig it. It's nice. It's pretty. Makes me want one in Reno.
We need one in Reno.
Yeah, but we're probably not going to get one anytime soon. All right, what else we got, guys? What else? More soccer stuff.
I guess rebrands are kind of the hot thing right now. Everyone's doing them. Some people are doing them much better than others. Chicago, and the Tulsa had their rebrand, and I like it, even though it is kind of blah. Still upset that they dropped the Roughnecks for just FC Tulsa. It's too generic. But the regiment, the supporter groups for Charleston Battery, have hinted that there will be a rebrand. That is pretty much what they're indicating on December 13th when it should drop. Everyone's getting a rebrand.
For the whole Battery.
I think so.
Not just the supporters group.
No. Somebody is like hinting at you can't wait till you see this redesign for Battery. And Regiment was like, keep an eye on the interwebs on December 13th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Another USL team getting a
rebrand. Nobody's treasured brand is safe.
No.
All of your merchandise is going to be outdated in just a couple years.
It's okay. That means it goes up in value.
Fair.
I mean, not always.
True. No.
Your car doesn't go up in value when it becomes outdated merchandise.
Yeah, but that's not a collector. I mean, some cars are collector, but not your daily commuter.
Yeah.
Unless you drive a Brat or something like that. I don't know. New beer.
Same.
Gotta love a good old cold snack.
Pull. Show that again. Your green screen is doing funny stuff with it.
Yeah, it must be reflecting some like green off of something. I don't know, but yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. All right,
Uh,
Matt. No, you don't look like you have anything more.
Man, I think I have scraped the bottom
That's
of my
all right,
barrel.
because I came in with Will Seymour stuff, and then it was stolen by Bradley Polonsky. Brad, do you have anything?
Yeah, I got this. Hold on. Boop boop. This is happening at Greater Nevada Field now. I brought this
Oh,
up
yeah.
in our little side conversation we had earlier today.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see this picture, but if not, I'll describe it for you. They are installing at Greater Nevada Field new post in the outfield, and I believe also there's going to be one over by the Coors Light Terrace or Bud Light, whatever it is, Terrace. They are installing these new poles so that they can put the netting the whole length of the field for foul ball territory. Thoughts on that? I know that it probably at this point won't have an effect on soccer season,
No.
but for baseball season, because I know a couple people do enjoy going to both sports. What are your thoughts on that?
Baseball's not fun without a little danger. So, but a lot of people are happy about it, so whatever. I don't like nettings because they get in the way of me watching the game, and I don't dig that. But people who want to go and not pay attention to the ball game, I guess you're safe now. I know that I think I'm the biggest baseball fan among the three of us.
Probably.
So yeah, I don't dig it, but it's not about people like me. It's about kids and children and.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year I went to two different Aces games. The first game was, I believe, the July 4th game, and I remember sitting there and I saw two people get hit with a ball or something, and require medical help. And then I also remember going to a game later on in the season and somebody get hit with either a bat or a ball again. So every game I've been to in the Aces this whole past season, which given small sample size of two, I've seen three people get hit and require medical help. So I'm all for fan safety because let's be honest, I don't pay attention the whole time. I sit on my phone. It's baseball. I'm appallingly bored by it, but I do understand why it does exist, I guess. So.
Well, no, I mean I understand why it exists. Yeah. It's just an atrocity, is all. What about you, Matt? What do you think? I say throw fan safety out the damn window. Anarchy, chaos, injuries.
The whole devil may care attitude about the whole thing. I like that. No, I kind of feel like the outcry that's going on in baseball right now about getting nets up and having to be safer is kind of a vocal minority, like a lot of things are that end up, I don't want to say ruining things, because I don't know if this is ruining it, because I don't know baseball well enough, but I could see there being a drawback for a hardcore baseball fan that wants the best view they possibly can with no obstructions, and then it ends up getting ruined by a casual fan who is not paying attention. Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this one. I really don't know.
Well, here's a downside that Brad hasn't thought about. Maybe you haven't thought about it either, Matt. No more foul balls.
If it goes above the net.
Dude.
How many times does a foul ball get hit and goes like...
It's not going to go above the net. If it goes above the net into past first or past third, it's out of the park.
How tall is this net going to be? 150 feet up?
No, it'll be as tall. Have you not? It'll be.
Have you seen the wire above our section?
Yeah, it's going to be that.
It's like
tall.
a good 20 feet up.
It's not like how often is it's pretty much you'd have to hit a floater. I'm like trying to show you guys, and I'm not realizing that you can't see
just
what I'm
way
doing.
I'll believe it when I see it. How about that? Until then, I understand the fan safety. But if you're not paying attention and you get hit with the ball, that's your fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So he defends.
No,
he defends
I understand
the
it,
safety
but
netting,
like at
and
the
then
same
he
time, did I say it's the most required thing ever? That like without this netting, baseball games are a tragedy waiting to happen?
You
No.
sure sounded like that.
Okay, well, stop inserting
Play it
words
back.
into my mouth
Let's hear
that I
this
did
again.
not say.
Yeah, let me play you back. I'm just kidding.
I'm anxiously awaiting
It's not
because
that
you're
big of a
not
deal.
gonna
What do
be
you
wrong.
guys
I know I'm
think?
right.
Who cares what we think? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments or slip us some DMs or whatever.
Oh,
Is that
All
where
right.
you were going with that?
I guess-
Man, spicy.
Slip your DMs to the good-looking bearded fellow. And I'm not talking about me or Matt. I'm talking about Brad. All right, let's do random thoughts before we overstay our welcome. Matt, what is your random thought today?
well, I started playing Jedi Fallen Order. It's
Ooh.
super cool and super pretty. The acting seems like it's really, really good. Like it's up there with an actual Star Wars feature. And I can't wait for my new graphics card to come in because that thing sounds like it's going to blow up.
We're totally gonna be talking after the podcast.
Oh yeah, it's working hard, but it can keep somewhere between 50 to 60 frames per second steady. So I'll give my little trooper that for now until I retire her for good in a couple weeks.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Fun fact: the guy who plays is it Kalen?
Cal?
Cal. Yeah, the guy who plays Cal. He's also the redhead in Shameless. And he plays the Joker in the Gotham show. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, crazy, right? He's a pretty
Got some
solid
chops
actor.
there, I guess.
Yeah. Brad.
Man, so for me, the one thing that I am going to randomly think about, well, first of all, my beer for the week is Golden Road Wolf Session IPA. Yeah, Wolf Pub
Wolf
Session
Pub.
IPA. It's 5%, 4%. It's somewhere on here. It's somewhere in the 4 to 5% range, and it is hop heavy tasting. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect a beer that was
good or
like
bad?
it's an IPA, and I was expecting when I was drinking it at first, like, well, it's lower on the alcohol. I don't know what to expect on the hops. No, it's very hop heavy. Golden Road, I've been there before. It's in the Los Angeles area, right down the road from where my brother lives. I suggest it. I don't know if I suggest this beer, maybe, unless you really like IPAs, and this is one that a tall boy, like $3, $2 at Rayleigh's, that you can get all day. My real random thought of the week is, oh my gosh, The Mandalorian is amazing, and I can't say
Yes.
anything more. It is such a good show. I think it does fan service well. I mean, Baby Yoda's Baby Yoda and memed everywhere, but it also tells its own unique original story that I'm starting to get really into. I still haven't seen episode 5. I'm gonna watch that an hour or two after we kick off or end the show tonight. But man, it is such a good show.
Yeah, it's definitely the number one reason to own Disney Plus, in my opinion. And there are a lot of reasons to have Disney Plus.
It's such a good service.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig it.
We're not shills or anything.
No, unfortunately, we haven't gotten paid. My random thought, I don't really have one. I'm happy that Manchester United beat City. That's pretty dang sweet. I texted these two like right after the game to tell them that I was going to talk more ish this week. And that's my ish. So, I got a new monitor for my computer. That's pretty sweet. Running stuff in 2K is awesome. But boy, is it intensive on my GPU. I'm like, I watch the quality bar go whoop. So that's kind of funny. But other than that, I got nothing for you. So let's get out of here. Where can we follow you, Brad?
You can follow me on Reddit and Twitter at PalOnTheSky. I haven't been too active since it's the off season, but I will be back soon. And yeah, I guess that's really it. I'm not that active on social media in the off season.
Matt, have you had any gifts lately?
Yeah, actually, I dropped one on Twitter a couple days ago, and then the same one on the Reddits today, this morning.
109 updates. Make that 110.
Yeah, so go check me out. Go check out my new stuff, either on Reddit on r/USL Pro or on Twitter. On both of them, my screen name is Raf Out Loud with underscores between each word.
All right, guys, and you can find me anywhere. Just type in John Macaluso. Also follow the podcast 1868 Weekly. If you're not subscribed to 1868 Weekly on YouTube, which you are watching us or listening to us somehow, get on it. Brad, why would people come over on YouTube, watch this week in and week out, but not subscribe?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's for them. I'm subscribed on my device.
I am also subscribed. You guys laugh, but I have my own separate account. So
Got to stack it with those alts.
yeah. All right. Let's get out of here. What do we say every week, Brad?
All right. Thank you guys for listening, for commenting, for following a team with us that we care so deeply about. Ian Wintrust, and
Vamos
Azules! Let's go, Team Spinning Tree.
You spin tree.
Nothing, Matt? Okay. All right.
Bye,
Bye
everybody.
everybody.